Okay, this is Design Phase 3 Part 1. This step is not necessary unless you don't like your flap or you want to do a more design-centric flap. I made all these things. What would happen if I took one and I just sort of made it into a flap, right? I mean, that's a nice idea there, but the problem is that's not really the Ireland flag. I mean, I do like the contrast that's produced by that. It's kind of neat, but it's also not long enough. Well, actually it is long enough, technically. Barely. Barely long enough. So if I wanted to, I could take and make this a flap. As long as I didn't mind having Ireland on the top of it as well, then yeah, I could take this and make it into a flap. I've already got the holes and everything done. So I'm looking at it and I have to, that's something you have to decide sometimes when you say, you know what, I really need to do something else to have the wherewithal to actually do it. The question is, would I rather have it go like this and just carry the flag through to the flap, or would I rather have it inverted and have the flag reversed? Now, this is good design, having it reversed, but it's not really consistent with the flag theme, because the inversion of color is a perversion of the flag colors. So, out of respect for the country itself, the more likely solution is to do it this way. Problem is, I really don't need Ireland stamped on the flap as well. What that means, I literally have to make another one of these. Hello again. So I've decided to cut this out, and I'm going to go ahead and make another flap. So I'm literally just going to cut it, the threading, trying not to interfere with the leather. You don't want to cut through the leather. I have seam rippers, but if I'm being honest, seam rippers kind of suck. They don't make good quality ones these days. So I'm literally just cutting through the thread at the back, like so, since it's the easiest way to do this. It doesn't take that long, surprisingly, to rip a piece out. I guess that's the way it goes. It's a lot easier to destroy something than it is to create something. It's just the way of the world. That's kind of sad, but you know what? It's the reason why we have something like Murphy's Law. So I'm going to pull on this and it should just pop right out of there, like so. That's how easy it is to pull a flap out and start over. There we go. I'll literally use this as the pattern for the new one. Pull all these little threads out of here. Okay, so there we go. I've now removed the flap. I'm ready now to take this and to cut it into a new piece. Since I had this piece from before, I literally can just use it as well. So I'm going to cut an edge here first. Looks like it's pretty straight already, other than a little curly-Q at the end, which I tend to do for some reason. Okay, now I'm going to take this, set it on there, and literally trim it to the exact same size. Because I like the length of this. right there. Okay, that piece is now cut. The next step in this process is to trim it now and fit it to the right shape. So, got it close to the right shape here. I do need to cut this edge here, which I should have done before I moved off. Let's see. That's why I use a cutting mat instead of the other. So now, at the general shape here, now I need to trim the edge using my cheap Chinese-made knife, which is hiding from me. This is how amateurs work. We lose stuff, we use stuff, we lose it, we hunt around for it, and we waste all of our time just trying to find stuff. Okay. So there we go. I think I used a penny on this one. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it. So this one I'm just going to use a penny on, around the edge. It's nice getting dull. Okay. Do what I did before. I take my sanding piece like this, and I just sand the edge together so it gives the same basic shape. Like so. There we go. Let's see. Check it on my thing here, make sure that it's straight. And it's not perfectly straight. So I have to trim off a little bit. Just a little. Happens sometimes. Okay. Redo this edge here. Now, resand. There we go. You got a bevel. If you can. Doesn't always like to bevel, but I'm going to try anyway. Basically, you're just rounding it a little bit so that it burnishes a little bit easier. like so. Now I'm going to mark my lines. First things first, I need to clip in that little round section right there. Right in here. Just clip it out. Use the scissors for this. Right there. And right there. Okay. Let me do this one a little bit more. There we go. Got that clipped. I use this to run my line. Stamp my holes. See if I can get it a little bit better so you can see it a little better. Right there. There you go. Start from this side. Like so. And then try to match up these holes. And they're not going to match up perfectly. Fortunately, happens sometimes. There we go. But you won't see it because it's inverted. So, the next thing I need to do, take my template. In this case, I want to use one of these that's actually a good one. The one that I did at the same time as the other one. And I want to make sure that this flag is going to match up. So my lines, using this marking stylus, I put them all away. So now I got to go find them again. This is what's called a marking stylus. I'm going to mark the lines for the flag here. Mark it on the other side. Right here. Right here. Take my ruler. That's where the flag line is going to be. Like so. So that's where my line's going to be. Now I'm going to need green, white, and orange are the basic colors that I'm going to be doing. But first I need to do a coat of resin on this to just lock in the white.